Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and these are the all-new iPhone 14 cases. I have every single color that they offer in silicone, as well as the clear case. We'll take a look at the iPhone 14 Pro size, as well as the iPhone 14, 14 Plus, and then also 14 Pro Max that I have in leather, and we'll take a closer look at the leather cases in a separate video. Now these all come in at $49, so the silicone cases are $49, the leather cases are $59. And you can see every single color here, and we'll start from left to right. So on the far left, we have Sunglow, then Succulent, then Lilac, then Elderberry, then Chalk Pink, Storm Blue, Black or Midnight, as well as Red or Product Red, and then Clear. So every one of these colors is currently available. They usually change them seasonally. Now let's go ahead and open one of them up, and then we'll take a closer look at it, and then we'll open the rest more quickly. Now this here, I noticed the packaging has paper as a pull tab on the back. Just something small, but I guess more recyclable compared to the plastic they had before. So let's go ahead and remove this. We'll open it up. Pull the case out. I don't expect much to be different here. And again, this is the Sunglow case. So it's just sort of a product and warranty sheet with all of the different legal things on it. And then we have the case itself. So this is the Sunglow silicone case. We'll pull this off here. And as you can see, the inside is pretty much the same as what you would expect every year. So we'll compare those in just a moment, but let's set this one aside and then move on to the next. Now, before we unbox the rest of them, let's go ahead and look around the case, see if there's any differences. Of course, you can see this is a very large cutout compared to maybe the previous generation. I'll compare that in a moment. But as you can see, here's the power button, of course, nothing on the top. You've got your opening for the silent switch, and then your volume buttons. The bottom is covered again this year, where you have an opening or cutout for the lightning cable, as well as your microphone and speakers. So nothing really different there. The inside is microfiber, so really nice. Just like all the other cases, it helps with dust and keeping contaminants out. Now let's take a look at the previous years. So here is the iPhone 13's case. And if we flip it over, they look basically the same. The 13 Pro case looks very similar. And if we take a look at the opening, let's see if it's any different here. You'll see the overall camera cutout on the Pro looks very, very similar. And we'll try these on different phones and see how they fit in a moment. And then also let's see where the button placement is. So the buttons look to be in the same place or very, very close, maybe moved down ever so slightly on the 14 Pro. The bottom looks to be identical, so very similar there. The other side, let's line this up again. The other side, again, very, very similar. And everything else looks very much the same, except for the power sleep wake button. That's a little bit different. So let's set this aside and let's move on to the next. Now we'll take a look at Succulent, see what this looks like. Should be just sort of a mint green color. Open that up. It's actually a little bit different than I would expect, but you can see the green color here, inside and out. Next we have Lilac. So let's open this one here. And that's a really nice lighter purple color. And again, same sort of color inside. They've done a good job of matching the outside to the inside this year. The next one is Elderberry. Open that up. Sort of a dark cherry color it looks like. So pull this out of the box. And it looks familiar compared to a different color. This is almost similar to what we had with the purple iPhone cases with some of the darker colors. So again, the inside, outside. Next, we have Chalk Pink, and we've had this color before. So let's open this up quickly. And again, what you would expect if you've seen any of Apple's pink colors, it's kind of a very light pink. Next, we have Storm Blue. So we'll go ahead and open this one up. It's a little bit hard to get behind these pull tabs. They're a bit difficult. I kind of like the plastic ones better, but these are definitely probably easier to recycle, I assume is why they did this. So this one actually looks really nice, this Storm Blue color, and we'll compare it to the other blues in a moment. Next, we have Midnight. And of course, this is a color we've had before, Midnight, Red, and Clear. So again, Midnight, just like you would expect. Next is Product Red. And every year this shade of red changes just a little bit, and this camera is calibrated to be as color accurate as possible. So this is what it really looks like in real life, maybe a little less vibrant. And you can see the inside as well. And then finally, the clear case. So we'll open that one up. That just rips off the back like that this time around. And again, the clear case with sort of a MagSafe ring on it. Nothing really different there. Now also we have these three cases, 14, 14 Plus, and 14 Pro Max, because you'll need a specific version for each phone that you pick up. Your old cases will not necessarily work on this. But let's open up the 14 case. Here's the 14 Plus. And then because this is a leather case, it's a 14 Pro Max leather case. Now size-wise this year, this gives you an idea of the overall size. So we have the 14, 14 Pro, 14 Plus, and 14 Pro Max. So size-wise, not too far off with the 14 Pro and Pro Max, or Plus and Pro Max. They're very similar in size overall with the cases, but of course the camera cutout is much larger. Now let's see how they compare on older devices and some of the dummy models, and we'll check the magnets first. And the magnets should be about the same that we had last year. So this is just magnet paper showing where the magnet ring is and then the alignment magnets. And again, you can see that on the clear case. Anything with a magnet, this magnet paper shows up, and I can link this in the description if you want to check it out. So just shows you where the magnets are placed on anything you place that over. Also, if we take the MagSafe wallet and place it on the new phone, this is the MagSafe wallet from last year. It feels like it's the same, although it does feel like it's on there very tight. So maybe it's holding a little better. It's hard to say if the magnets are any different this time around, but it feels about the same. This is a case I use regularly, and it's seemingly holding on about the same as I think last year's. Now let's see how the 14 Pro Max case fits on a 13 Pro Max, if at all. Now technically the 14 Pro Max is narrower than the 13 Pro Max, so as you can see here, it doesn't seem to really want to fit on the device. Also, the power sleep wake button is moved down a little bit. So if we force this onto the 13 Pro Max, you can see the camera bump is definitely different. It's got a different cutout. It's moved down slightly. The overall bump on the back doesn't really look to be any different compared to the different cases, but the bottom looks okay. But on the side, again, the silent switch and then, well, the volume buttons do seem to work, but the silent switch looks like it's moved down a little bit. And also, if we take a look with the 13 Pro Max case, here I have a silicone case next to the leather case. Maybe the camera bump sticks out a little bit more, ever so slightly, if at all. Also, it doesn't seem to light up the display with the matching color of the case itself on the phone. Even though I'm running iOS 16 on this device, when I put the case onto the phone, usually MagSafe will recognize that and then sort of light up the phone, letting you know it's attached to case. None of that happened, so it's possible that they've moved the magnets down ever so slightly. So there could be some differences there. Now let's try the 13 Pro. So we'll set that case aside. And here's the 13 Pro. Let's use the clear case so we can see it a little bit better. So we'll see how this fits on. We'll snap it into place, and it seems to fit a little bit better this time around. But again, that power sleep wake button is moved a little bit. So it's a little bit further down on the 13 Pro versus we're on the 14 Pro case compared to the 13 Pro. And then again, the silent switch seems to be down a little bit, and even the volume buttons ever so slightly. You can press them, but it's not as easy. The camera cutout, again, is slightly different, more down toward the bottom right of the camera cutout. And again, it's not waking the phone up, recognizing that anything's attached. And it doesn't seem to be centered as far as the Apple, so there definitely could be a difference there. So let's pop this off here and look at the next one. So let's take a look at the iPhone 13 with the 14 case on it. So before I clip it over the edge or snap it onto the phone, you'll see here that the power sleep wake button seems to be aligned properly. If we take a look at the other side, it looks like they're in alignment as well. And then let's click it into place, and it appears to be basically the same. Although Apple doesn't say it's compatible, it does seem to be the same. If I push the buttons, they feel like they're in the right place. The power sleep wake button and the cutouts on the bottom seem to be in the same place as well. So it appears that the 13 and 14 are very similar as far as the cases. So I think you could get away with using them this year, even though they're not technically supported. Also, let's see if it will charge through the case. So let me turn it on. This phone's never been set up, so let's turn it on here. So the phone is on now. Here we have an Anker charger. Let's just see if we can attach it via MagSafe, and it's charging. So you definitely could use an iPhone 14 case with an iPhone 13, it looks like. No problems there. Now let's take a look at the 14 Plus case, and let's look at it on the 13 Pro Max. So we'll just place it on here, and you can see the power, sleep, wake buttons seem to be in alignment. Let's clip it down here. And on the other side, the silent switch, the volume buttons seem to be pressable. And on the back, of course, the camera bump is much larger than we have for the cutout of the 14 Plus. But overall, this case feels like it fits on the 13 Pro Max without a problem. So it looks like they're very similar in size, with the 14 Pro Max being a little bit narrower. And so those are all of the different cases and the different colors. If there's anything else you want to know about it, let me know in the comments below. And of course, I'll have all the different colors with the leather cases as well in a separate video, but we won't go as in depth since we already know all the information here. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.